There is this notion in Sierra Leone that in order for the economy of Sierra Leone to grow, the private sector has to increase. People have to come and invest in the country, which I really agree. If you look at it, some of the greatest countries in the world right now are where they are today because of the private sector, you know. But when it comes to Sierra Leone, I'm afraid I doubt it, because I believe in order for private sector to grow, the government at least have to achieve the basic needs of the country. Now, I'm talking about infrastructure, I'm talking about legal policies, I'm talking about education, etc. Because when we're talking about private sector, we're talking about entrepreneurs, we're talking about investors coming in, spending their money. As they are doing it, they are creating jobs and all of that. Now, let's talk about infrastructure that I mentioned. How do you expect? Because when we're talking about jobs, we're talking about industrialization, manufacturing, production, and all of that. How do you expect someone to come and put their money in Sierra Leone when Sierra Leone can't even afford electricity, stable electricity? There is nothing like industrialization without electricity. You cannot come and build your factories when you don't have light. Otherwise, it's gonna cost you more. You also have to look at the demand. Who are going to buy, or how is it gonna be profitable for you to come and spend so much money on just electricity alone? How you gonna get your money back? Because Sierra Leone, if you wanna bring your own electricity for your company and all of that, generator, Sierra Leone don't refine oil, they import oil, they import fuel, so it's gonna cost you more. And we are seeing, I will make Nigeria as an example. Have you seen how companies left Nigeria just when their economic crash? Over 6 or 7 international companies already left Nigeria recently because of the crash of the economy. You get? So government has to first achieve electricity for investors, for entrepreneurs to come and invest in businesses, invest in industrialization, invest in small scale businesses, all of that. Without that, no, to shy them away. Now, let's talk about legal policies. Is it flexible for people to come to Sierra Leone to register their business or register their ideas to start up a business in Sierra Leone? No, it's very stressful. Very, very stressful. It's not flexible for people to even, because the legal procedures alone shy people away, including the corruption. So government also have to achieve that side for private sector to increase. Now, to the education. I'm talking about innovations, ideas. Now, if you look at the higher institution in Sierra Leone, are their innovation labs really functioning? Yeah, when I was in Sierra Leone, I did a research about innovation labs, even the one in Jala. I have my brother that also attended Jala. I'm trying to like put some information together. You know, they have the innovation lab, but it's not functioning. And why, Harvard School of Business or Harvard Business School is even booming or whatever, because their innovation labs are functioning. Now, when I talk about innovations, I'm talking about ideas. People, people to bring in ideas, and those ideas are being looked into. But the education system in Sierra Leone is crap. How do you expect such kind of education system, to, you know, encourage ideas, encourage innovations, in order to build on the private sector? It's not gonna work. Even if you have the idea, you have like invested in your idea, you want to even take a loan, from the bank, it's very difficult because there are lesser bank, and because there are lesser banks, the competition is less. If there was higher competition, banks will try to find a way to give people loan with lower interest. I'll make an example of if you know the history of what's the name of the guy, Thomas Edison, the one that discovered bulb light and general electricity. You know, those years in the 19th century, I just want to go into history because my niche is more about history and critical thinking. Thomas Edison era in America already had over 338 banks. That's in the 19th century. I'm talking about 1819 to 1847. There were already banks that give loans to people that have ideas, because before even then, people were buying license. There's a name to it. I think it's patent. Yeah, that's a license. Use them and sell them for a while. Thomas Edison first license he even sold to Western Union was $10,000. You get, that was that already role of a government that was encouraging innovations. You get, so these are just few things I've mentioned. I think there is a lot when it comes to when it comes to basic needs of a country, especially in Sierra Leone, that Sierra Leone really, has to achieve before we start, thinking about private sector growing. I was also in Sierra Leone, I was thinking about investing in tourism because of the beauty of our land, and I saw how, from my research, I just shy away for many things. You get, okay. Now those are the problems. I really like talking about problems and also like bringing my ideas. I mean, my ideas might not be like the perfect solution, but I love sharing my own ideas of what I think should be the way to start. I think for now we have to start creating more awareness. Like I said in my previous episode, that we ignore things, the negligence, we don't pay attention to things until those things turn around and start destroying us before we like whatsoever. I think now we need to start paying or creating awareness on these things, tax government, question them, like, this is what we need. We need to start thinking Sierra Leone for the next 15, 20, 30 years. That is how country development start. You don't think in the next 5 years. Now you ask, if you ask any of those politicians now in APC, SFPP, ask them what is their plan for Sierra Leone for the next 20 years. They don't have any plan. So I think now we should create awareness on these issues and also start taxing government to pay attention on these things. If you're a student in university, you are part of any organization, try to push this agenda, push this whatever that university or government should invest in innovation labs. Innovation labs are very important in universities. They have to function. Also, if you find yourself in any NGO or any organization, institution in Sierra Leone, start taxing of asking government to invest in infrastructure. If you also find yourself in any political party, just push, because these things you are doing is not for you today, but for the future of Sierra Leone. That is it for this episode. For private sector to grow, the public sector has to achieve at least the basic needs. So they will allow private sector to help give jobs. Government is not going to give all the jobs we need for the population of Sierra Leone, but individuals are going to do that. But individuals also need the government's hands to work together. This togetherness also is very important. So you see, this is the platform we're going to be creating awareness. It's not just environmental issues, social issues, political issues, but also economical issue, the future. I want Sierra Leoneans to start thinking now 20 years, 30 years ahead, when we are going to have our kids, being youth, also take it from us. That's it for today. Thank you for making it to this point of my video, and I will see you in the next one. Yeah, bye.